Come on inside and let's numeracy patchwork ball together. Hello, friends, and welcome. My name is Jennifer Long from Sew a Story. I am an early years educator turned Riley Blake Designs fabric designer. And this month we are working through the Numeracy Patchwork Ball. So this ball has so many uses. It's so fun and actually really easy to make. And I can't wait to walk you through it. If you are a member of the Pattern Club, so the Sew Story Pattern Club, it is a monthly pattern club where you get 2 patterns every month. You're going to get the little quilt here, the Let There Be Light quilt pattern. We'll have a separate video for that. And then also the Numeracy Patchwork Ball. So you'll get both of those inside the Pattern Club, as well as a lot of other bonuses that teach you like how to play, things that you can print off to extend play through these crafts and quilts. So it's so worth it. But let's talk about a few things first, like let's get ready. So, okay, the first thing you're going to need is your pattern. So if you're a member of the Pattern Club, just make sure you download it this month. It's called the Numeracy Patchwork Ball. If you are watching this video later or you've joined the Pattern Club later, you can still get this pattern. It will be in the exclusive Pattern Club shop where everything is always 50% off. However, you can also get this pattern in lots of other places. So if you want the paper printed version of this pattern, you can find it at your favorite local quilt shop or online retailer. And you can also get it as a PDF download on the Sew Story website. So patchwork ball. Then you'll need some fabric. Now, a 5-inch stacker works great. So if you have a 5-inch stacker, this is totally 5-inch stacker friendly. I am using, of course, Created with Love fabric. This fabric is a new fabric that I designed with Riley Blake Designs. It's called Created with Love. And a lot of these, all the projects really right now are in this fabric, but you can use the fabric of your choice. Then you're going to need a few other supplies. So you'll need a 5-inch stacker. You'll need a little bit of confetti cotton if you're going to do these numbers applique. So if you want to do the numbers, you can also do them by hand embroidery if you prefer, or in any other way. You can even use a marker on there if you want to just draw them on. We're using heat and bond fusible light for those numbers, and we're also using a heat and bond fusible fleece. So if you've made any smaller projects with me before, especially ones that are shaped like this, I have a little secret to share with you on how to make these really hold their shape lovely. And super, super easy to sew as well. So fusible fleece is that secret. Of course, we'll need a little bit of polyester fiber fill, so something that you can stuff this with. And I am going to be using my Quilty Hemostats. So if you haven't grabbed yourself a pair, this is a notion I designed with Riley Blake Designs. And it's actually, I use it a ton in doll making, but you can use it in any kind of place where you need to turn anything or push out the corners. And then of course you need your basic sewing supplies. All right, so are you ready to begin? Okay, I almost am too. Before we totally begin, I just want to talk you through one fun thing. So when you've sewn this all together, I want to just like inspire you here about the many possibilities for this. So you can make your numeracy ball with all kinds of numbers. You can be creative, of course, and put like letters on it as well, and maybe even spell your child's name, and they have to roll it and spell their name. You can just put just have fabric, and it can be like a great baby toy. So there's lots and lots and lots of options of what you can do. If you're using it to learn numbers and numeracy, we have a game inside the Pattern Club that you can download right away. So again, if you are watching this video months later and you need to go and get this pattern in the Pattern Club, the downloads are always, always available. So you can go and download this game. It's called Roll, Find, and Move, and it gives you a couple of the options of things to do. So I designed it like in even number of pages so you could print it two-sided if you wanted to, but this one I didn't, and it just says how to play. So there's instructions here on how to play, and I'll talk you through that, but it's basically this. There are these little game boards. One is a movement numeracy ball game, one is a counting numeracy game, and one is leaving it up to your imagination. So let's talk through the first one first. So it looks like this. Lots of the Created with Love illustrations are on there. And you are going to roll this ball, or maybe have your child put their hand on the ball or the older sibling, and they're going to say, oh, it's a number 6. Well, it says 6, roar like a lion 6 times. Roar, 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 roar. So it tells you kind of what to do here. Or if you don't have that much reading skills and you're just more in like the preschool, toddler age, we'll roll it. We'll find the number 4 here. And then I'll say, can you find which one has 4 animals? This one has 1. This one has 2. This one has 3. There it is, 1, 2, 3, 4. And it's super fun. You can only get these games, these additional add-on games inside the Pattern Club. It is a benefit of being in the Pattern Club to do purposeful play with these amazing toys. But you can make this toy and create your own on your own as well. So this is the Numeracy Patchwork Ball. I am going to lower the camera and we're going to begin. Let's get started.
Okay, so let's get started. We are going to make our Numeracy Patchwork Ball. We have our fabric. I'm going to talk you through what to do with it. We have our cute little ball. I've got Created with Love fabric. I did print out, if you're part of the Pattern Club, you can download the counting numeracy and the movement numeracy games that can go along with it. And I'm going to take a design board here and we're going to walk through this together. So what you're going to want to do is take your fabric and fuse on fusible fleece. And then you're going to take the template and just cut it out. If you are wanting to put numbers on them first, then you can do that either with the applique method. You can do it hand embroidery. If you want, you could probably do it machine embroidery as well, if you have numbers on your machine, or however you wanted to do that. We're going to talk about how to assemble this. So I am going to take one design board here, just like this, and I'm going to lay out the number 1 right in the center. And I'm going to start on this corner and kind of go around. So 2, 3, I want all the numbers kind of like pointing in. So 4, 5, and 6. So it looks just like this. I'm going to do the same thing again with another design board. Let me just set this one off to the side here. And I'm going to grab a second design board and I am going to put in the number 12 in the center and go from there. So I am going to do, where's the 7? 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11 and 12. Okay, so I have this here and this here. Now, all I'm going to do to start is I want to start sewing each of these pieces as close as I can, like this. And the important part is that you're going to leave your 1/4 inch seam allowance. So we're actually going to only come up to the corners of each one. Let's walk through it step by step and we'll sew it together in real time. So I'm going to take 1 and 2, flip them together. I'm going to start and stop back stitch at 1/4 inch seam allowance. So I'm going to make sure I'm a 1/4 inch down, forward a few steps, back, and sew at a 1/4 inch seam allowance, and then again forward and back, and cut. All right, like this. Cut some of those extra off. And it looks like that with them opened up, if you can see that. So it's going to be open. Good. That's one. I'm actually going to go ahead and just for ease sew this one together over here at a quarter, then I don't have to fight with, kind of like, not fight, but just manage as much 1/4 inch, starting at the 1/4 inch seam allowance and come back and again here. All right, cut. All right. Oh, my machine maybe needs a little clean. There we go. Okay, good. Excellent. Now we're going to sew this number 3 on. So I have that 1, 2. I want to make sure I position that 3 correctly. I'm going to sew it like this, but I'm going to press this open, and I'm going to start again at the 1/4 inch seam allowance right here, and go right through. You can actually kind of go right through if you want to, because you now have that marker for the seam allowance too. You just don't want to sew over. All right, cut. We have 2 more to go. So it's looking like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Put that together. Starting at that 1/4 inch seam allowance, back and forth. And I love sewing with fusible fleece, pieces with fusible fleece, because they have like so much stability here now too. So I feel like it's always easier to sew when they are stabilized. I just love actually sewing when fabric is stabilized. It's kind of like sewing with your fabric starched. Do you love sewing with your fabric starched? I really do. I actually really like the smell of starch too. All right. Good. So it looks like this. Now what you're going to do is sew these pieces together. So you're going to sew this side, this side, this side, this side, this side. I'm going to start at the top, and I'm actually going to just like run off and make sure that I've caught all the way to that corner on all the sides. So again, 1/4 inch seam here, because that's going to be connecting back and forth, and then I'm going to run it right through. Good. Back and forth and cross. Take it off. All right, so you can see it's kind of getting shaped here. Next one, around, starting at that 1/4 inch. Back and forth. Excellent. Okay, it's coming together. I'm gonna move that out of the way. We have a few more. I'd love you to see me do one, and then we'll come back after. We'll do the other side of the exact same. But I'd love you to see how fun and easy it is. Don't get intimidated because it's a ball here. You can completely sew this. We've got the right size templates in here. We've got all of the links for everything. So really fun and easy. This is a great project for stackers. If you have a 5-inch stacker, this is a great project for scraps. This is a great project to just connect together. Look how it's coming together. You're doing really good. And you can see how that's open there. So it's open right here at that seam allowance. I don't know if you can see that there. Good. So if you close that again, then you're going to sew right through there. All right. Amazing. Looks like that. I just want to show you how fun this is going to be. Look, you guys. Oh my goodness, darling, darling. All right. So you're going to do the same thing again that we just did here on this side. We're halfway there. I'll meet you back here once we have this one sewn. Okay, so here we are. We've got our 2 pieces completely turned out. If you want those corners to turn out really nicely, before you flip it around, you're just going to want to like snip off some of that bulk, especially because it is fusible fleece here. So you want to just make sure that you like snip those corners off, and you can push them out. And you can use your quilty hemostats. These are my favorite pair of quilty hemostats. You need them for all kinds of things, turning out the corners, making sure they're pushed nice and strong, but also to stuff. Okay, so you have these two shapes like this. So if we open up our pattern here, you're gonna see that you're gonna wanna leave this opening, and we're gonna sew it together. So what you're going to do is you want the numbers, if you have numbers on here, or directional fabric, and this is 1 with the bottom here and 12 with the bottom here. I want to make sure that those are joining together. I'm going to have at one point match the dip, like the valley, and then this is going to come on up. So you're actually going to rotate around like almost like a zigzag, walk yourself around. So you can't really pin it yet. I'm going to show you how to do this. I'm going to sew it together, and I'm going to start with this 0.8 here and put it right in that corner, 1/4 inch seam allowance. So I'm going to move this over and I'm going to sew this part. You do want to leave one of these sections open so you're not going to get it too far ahead and stop. If you have your seam allowance open, it's going to allow you to stop at that 1/4 inch and see exactly where you are. So I'm going to start at the 1/4 inch seam allowance. I have it hanging over just slightly, and start and back and forth. I'm going to follow along that line with my seam open, 1/4 inch seam allowance, and I am going to start with a needle down position, and I'm going to walk along. Now I'm going to rotate so you can see that they're sort of offset, and bring that point, it should meet the next point. I'm going to rotate, we're right at that seam allowance, and come along in. Stop at the 1/4 inch seam allowance, needle down position, and again, twist and rotate. Good, you're just sewing straight lines, it's just the fabric underneath you that's rotating. Seam allowance is open. The trick with your seam allowance is if you're going to do open seam allowance, because you have this bulk and you have the fusible fleece, it gives a little bit of extra bulk, then you are going to want to make sure that you shorten your seam allowance, or seam length, pardon me, stitch length. Shorten your stitch length to 2 millimeters, or even maybe a little bit smaller, just so that it's nice and tight when you're twisting and pushing. So every time I'm at that seam, I'm like continue to rotate and walk along, seam open, come in there, needle down, and rotate again. We're getting there. So it's turning into a little ball. So fun and easy and cute. You are literally just sewing straight. Needle position down, rotate over, keep sewing straight, needle position down. I think I have one more here to go. Yes. All right. I think I'm going to leave one whole section open, so one point open. All right, look at this. Oh my goodness. So you literally sewed this together out of flat fabric. Way to go. Again, if you want to go into all of the corners and pop them, just clip off some of the corners so there's not a whole lot of extra bulk. Be careful you don't cut your seams at all. All right, I just want to make sure that those corners turn really nicely, that I've already cut some of them. Excellent. Okay, dun, 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 dun. I'm so excited to show you. This is like the absolute fun. So I'm going to use my quilty hemostats. They click closed here. I'm going to push them in and pull the inside out of this Numeracy Patchwork Ball. Dun, 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 dun. Look, you guys. Oh my goodness, so exciting. Okay. So I'm going to take my hemostats now, and I am going to push all of these areas out. And I'm going to show you how to stuff this. Look how this is stuffed. I'm going to show you how to stuff this with fun and ease. So I'm going to take a little bit of, I'm just going to use polyester fiber fill here. This is polyfill, and you're going to take some stuffing and you're going to separate it apart, click it together with your hemostats, and you're going to push it in. And you're going to start at the back corner and you're going to just give it a nice little push. And you want, while you're doing this, you want to like really push the corners out. So the more you stuff, the more you're going to have to push, and you want to always fill your, I have a lot of stuff in here. I'm going to see if I can get all of this. Do you think this all can fit in there? Not all at once, but it's going to surprise you how much is going to actually fit inside here. If you want a nice firm ball, then yes, you're going to want to have quite a bit in there. Keep going. Keep going. Oh my goodness. Yay, yay, yay. All right. Gonna keep pushing in there. And I'm gonna really just try to push it down into all of those. So you can see how I'm using my top hand to push, and the hemostats here to really push it into the back corners. And I have even more opened in there and ready. Okay, and I'm gonna grab a little bit more. And keep going until you really think that there is like no way you could get any more in. And then just try to see if you can get a little bit more. That's my tip and trick to you. You wanna really have a nice round shape ball. So don't be afraid to push on it on a flat surface, because it really helps you shape that ball. And you want to have this end filled up too. So keep grabbing, separating, and pushing it in. All right. How is that looking? Oh my goodness, yay! So fun. Okay, so I have this piece open here. You're welcome to pin it so that, you know, you can make sure that it's staying shut. And then you're going to take a ladder stitch, and you're going to come along this edge and this edge. I'll just get my needle threaded, and I will walk you through that together. But oh my goodness, our ball is almost there. Okay, I've zoomed you in closer to do this ladder stitch. So a ladder stitch is just like what it says. You actually climb up, come through the seam, come over, come up through the seam and over, up and over, up and over, and you just ladder your way up. So I'm going to come out this point right here, and I'm going to start by coming in on one side. So I'm going to come into that seam, small stitches, and into the other seam on the other side. You don't have to pull it tight right away. You can wait a little bit and then give it a pull, but don't wait too long. So, you know, it's kind of loose there. If I give it a little bit of a pull, it sucks it in together, and then it will naturally loosen up again. So you want to just kind of keep working your way around, staying your 1/4 inch seam allowance. There it comes. And this is like an invisible stitch. I am using a doubled up cotton thread, and I want it to be strong. Now, if this is going to be used for a child, you might even want to come back again a second time, like for a young infant, so it doesn't come open. Again, you want to be just like very cognitive that you are doing nice, strong, very little stitches. You can see how it's just invisible and you can't see it happening or coming together. Come all the way up to that point where I've got that pin. So that pin is like my marker. I'm aiming towards it. And I want to aim at the top of that pin at the intersection of these two colors. So that's where I want it to be, right there. And then I'll take it out and I'm going to turn it around from there and work my way back. Good. And along. We're almost there. Yay. Just a couple more. And when you're tying it off at the end, try not to cut your threads too short. So I'll show you how I like to do it. I like to, we're gonna make a knot a few times, and then I'm gonna send the tail like as far through the ball as I can, or as far through the item as I can. Kind of just keep working our way here, right to the corner. And I want to reinforce this corner a couple of times. 1, 2, that's not my knot. I'm just reinforcing those stitches so it's not feeling all kinds of like torque and pull. I'm gonna make a knot by coming through and going into the loop and doing it one more time. In and through that loop. Yay! And then you're gonna come right in through there and see how far you can actually get through. And then you can just cut that tail off right at the end. All right, dun, 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 dun. Look at that. And you can shape your ball. And there you have it, your Numeracy Patchwork Ball. What number should I have? 12? Give yourself 12 big hugs, or count together to 12. And then can you find out which one has 12 here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, we need to find 12. 12. Way to go.
So thank you so much for joining me here today. This was so fun. I am completely passionate, as you know, about taking fabric and crafts and making them useful for early years education. And I cannot wait to see how you create with the Numeracy Patchwork Ball pattern and what you do with it. Can you please come over and share inside the Sew a Story Facebook group? Come on and share on social media, YouTube, wherever. We'd love, 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 love to hear. Make sure you tag me so that I can see it. If you aren't on social and you don't have, and you don't want to be, you don't have any Facebook, you can always email us your photos at info@sewastory.com. So sewastory.com, and we'll be so grateful as well to share. So I hope you have a lovely day. And if you are interested in more educational and fun patterns, this month I'll be doing this pattern also in the pattern club. This one's called Let There Be Light. So there's the sun and the moon. It's going to be raw edge applique, and we're going to learn about half square triangles also. So it's going to be a really fun and easy make. So I can't wait to see what you create this month. Thanks for being here, and until next time, I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.